uh, there's no lights inside the house. My phone's about to die. I need to plug my phone into my car. And I thought, you know what? I got to hit the store anyway. Power's out. I was in the middle of talking about Dak Prescott being out, surgery on the thumb. It's going to be a while. We're talking about probably at least a month to 8 weeks. We'll find out more tomorrow. Maybe we'll find out more later tonight. The news reports are kind of rolling in, but Dak Prescott is out with thumb surgery. This is devastating for Ceedee Lamb. Devastating for the running attack. Devastating for Dalton Schultz. It is devastating across the board. I don't really know at this point where I even value Ceedee Lamb. I don't think you can sell him high. I don't think you could sell him even medium rare. I don't think Ceedee Lamb is somebody you can even move. But I don't know that you're going to get, even if I had to guess, I don't think you're getting wide receiver 1 numbers out of Ceedee Lamb until Dak returns. When Dak returns, will he even return rusty? Will he return to form right away? It looked awful tonight. But this is devastating news. I got Dak and Lamb, no IR spot. Should I release Dak? Bro, in your situation, it's tough because if there are good quarterbacks on the waiver wire and you can't afford to hold Dak on your bench, but you have like Davis Mills and you got Lance and you could grab both of them. I mean, yeah, how can you wait on Dak? I don't blame you at all for making a cut. Davis Mills should be grabbed. Malik Willis is on the rise eventually. Don't worry, grab him. Not particularly you, but anybody else, grab him. Jimmy G to Dallas. I don't think that's going to happen. No. I mean, you never know. You never know. It's possible. I mean, I'm sure Raj is kicking it around right now. It could happen. I mean, anything could happen. I think we learned anything could happen. I think 2020 taught us anything can happen, you know. But Dak, yeah, it's going to be a little bit. Dak is only out a few weeks. I don't know, Brian. I think it'd have to be at least a month. But we'll see. And again, that's to be announced. Maybe there's something that will be short. There'll be good twist going on. There'll be good twist going on. Going to Dallas. I don't know what that means. Man, we need O-line help badly. And San Francisco says, Niner by nature. You sure do. East Coast Tatty, what's up? Buy Ceedee. Dip everywhere. It depends on what you could buy him for, bro, because he's not going to do a whole lot for you while you wait. Jimmy to Dallas, maybe. Cowboys are in deep trouble. Yes, they are. Eagles win the division now. Eagles win the division. Eagles are going to be a tough team in the playoffs. The Eagles are going to be a tough team in general. I love Philly. I love Hurts. I love A.J. Brown. I think Devontae Smith's a buy low. I think Goddard's a buy low. I love everything about this Eagles organization and what they got going on right now. Right now. Not the organization, actually. The team. The players. Organization knows how to screw it up. Hopefully they don't screw it up. But I love the players that are in place right now. Jalen Hurts is going to thrive all year long. The new tripod. We're going to have just like a dual tripod. I'm not getting rid of Burrow and Chase and Javonte. Week 1. 1 week is gone down, guys. 1 week. 1 week. Let's not get carried away. Burrow had a pretty good fourth quarter, and you can hear the rain coming down. It's really bad here right now. All the power is out everywhere. The storm is really, really bad. I'm in my car. Lions on the come up, absolutely. Texans are on the come up. It's really storming really bad here. Ken with the $20 hauler. Mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, Kenny boy. Kenny says, Smitty, a dude wants to trade me Connor and Gabe Davis for Kelsey and DK. Tell him to take a lap. Connor and Gabe Davis don't hold a candle to Kelsey and DK. My team is CMC, Barkley, Connor. Okay, so I think you're saying the other way around. Wants to trade you Connor and Gabe Davis. You have Connor and Gabe Davis, so you're meaning the flip. Go get Kelsey and DK. Go do it now. Give up Connor and Gabe Davis. Kelsey and DK. I do that. I do that all day long. Your team is fire. You have CMC, Barkley, Pierce. Keep the faith in Pierce. Don't freak out about Dameon Pierce. I'm gonna plug my phone into my car. Can you tell me if my audio cuts out? I'm hoping my audio gets better, or at least stays the same. So can you guys confirm if my audio is still pretty decent, or what's going on with my audio as of this moment moving forward? Is the audio bad, worse, better, same? Remember, CeeDee Lamb is not top 10 wide receiver. I mean, he's not right now. Dude, it's lightning outside. It absolutely is. Smitty, someone is behind you. No, they're not. Get Wentz. I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying a Wentz, bro. 1 week. Still good audio. Okay, thank you. The offense in Washington is good. It's not bad. Stafford or Kirk. Christian Kirk, bro. I mean, Justin Jefferson. Do I need to say more? I know Cooper Kupp. You could say the same thing, but Stafford's got an elbow thing. I'm not trusting that right now. Pierce is going to get game scripted out of a lot of games. Yeah, people said that this week until the Texans balled out, and hung the entire game, bro. No. Texans are better than people think. He got game scripted out another way. Barkley's season is currently underway. It's currently underway. I talked about this earlier. Look, Barkley looked good. Am I worried about him getting hurt? I mean, how could you not worry about him getting hurt? But at the same time, that's the only red flag right now. There used to be multiple red flags. Will the usage be there? Will the TDs get vultured? Danny Dimes did vulture runs, and there were potential TD opportunities vultured, but that doesn't mean that Barkley still can't thrive. This guy's going to crash driving down the road that quick in the rain. I mean, but Barkley's season's here. Barkley looks really good. I shouldn't have faded him into the third round. I wasn't fading him altogether. I didn't call him a bust. I just said he was a bust last year, and rightly so, just like JK, just like Godwin, just like Akers. James Robinson looked really good today. If we're going to talk about things that I've said that didn't look like I said they would look in week one, James Robinson looked good. But am I still worried about James Robinson with an injury? Sure. I mean, those Achilles injuries, there's a reason people don't come back from them. It's because it's a long season. But maybe James Robinson is the anomaly, and I'll at least give him that he looked good enough today to give him the benefit of the doubt walking into the next couple weeks. But let's not get carried away. He had 11 carries. He was ultra efficient with those carries. ETN should have had 2 touchdowns. I'm selling James Robinson high. It doesn't mean that I'm hating on what he did. I appreciate what he did, and I respect what he did, but I'm still selling James Robinson high. He had 11 carries and 2 touchdowns. Burrow looked bad. Not if you watch the whole game, bro. Burrow did some things that impressed me. Burrow was awful in a sense that the team, there was tip balls. A lot of things went down. Burrow was 7 for 10 when he had 2 INTs, and he might have had the third INT and was 7 for 11. Burrow was 7 for 10 with 2 INTs. He was actually doing some efficient things when that went down. That was a very tough defense. People on the surface will call Burrow a disaster week 1, but if you actually watch the game, Burrow was actually doing the best he could in that situation, and his ability to come back and command that fourth quarter after all that he endured was pretty impressive. Am I worried about Mike Williams? Who's Mike Williams? I don't even remember who that was. The last time I saw Mike Williams was last year. Am I worried about Mike Williams? Yeah. Am I kind of excited about Mike Williams? A little bit. Is he a buy low? Probably, because people are going to be like, where's Mike Williams? I'll trade him away. But Mike Williams is a buy low if you can get him really, really low, because Keenan Allen's injured. You dropped 154 with Javonte left to go, bro. Crushing it, game. Smitty, thoughts on Saquon? I just got through talking about him. Smitty, my man, what's good? 5 takeaways, and the game still went into OT. I know. Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, easy top 4. Don't leave Burrow out of that top 4 or 5 yet, bro. Just 1 week. Come on. Burrow did really good considering what happened to him. To come back and literally got me in one league 28 points, in another league he got me 19. and he had like negative points in almost into the third quarter. So don't disrespect our boy Burrow. He 1 week has gone by, Avi. 1 week, but every quarterback you named is in the top 5. Like, absolutely. How do you have 2 live streams at the same time? Is that other one still going? I can't get into my computer to end it because my power went out. So I'm hoping that it just ends, but we'll see. Do I hold ETN? Absolutely. I mean, what are you going to do? Cut him, Johnny? I mean, what is your alternative? To trade him? Trade him low for what? Like, I'm not coming at you. I want to know what you're thinking. Like, and we'll talk it out. But like, in your mind, what are your options? And let's talk it out. Smitty, are you a Fournette believer yet? No, Brian. I mean, he had a good game. We know what Fournette's capable physical ability-wise. Okay, there's a whole lot more to it. It's a long season. I think he even got injured at the end of the game. I don't know if he's fine. Yeah, he's double live streaming. Burrow broke like every efficiency metric last season. He's regressing. Sure, buddy. Love the cozy tone tonight. Yeah, it's raining hard, bro. What would you trade ETN for? You can't really trade ETN. You got to hold ETN. You got to hold him, bro. Look, Fournette impressed me on the field, and he's impressed me before. It's not a surprise that Fournette can run the football when he's given volume, but it's also still one of those things where Fournette's always injured, and like, can I ask you a question? Godwin, like, everyone was saying Godwin fire emoji. Godwin, he's in the game. Godwin looks good. Now where's Godwin? It doesn't really matter what you look like in one game. It doesn't really matter what you look like in one quarter. It doesn't really matter how many fire emojis you get. It doesn't matter how good you run in shorts. It doesn't matter how awesome you run on a treadmill. I still firmly believe that Leonard Fournette will lead. Am I even live? Can you still hear me? Am I even live anymore? I don't even know what's going on. I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Trade Mike Williams. I don't know what's going on. We lost 100 people. We lost 100 people because someone called my phone. Someone called my phone. I should have turned it on Do Not Disturb. They called again because they're impatient, right? Smitty, check my super. Okay. You know what? I don't even know if your super is still here, but let me check. Pick up Duvernay or DeAndre Carter. Give me DeAndre Carter, but I don't know that I love either one. They're okay. They're okay. Waddle, a must start now. You can hear me now, thank you. Waddle must start, yeah, until he's hurt again. Smitty, the other live is still going, but what am I doing on the other live? Like, what am I even doing? I'm playing against someone that drafted JT, Swift, and Saquon. Season is over. Not the season, bro. Maybe your week is over. But that's it. Duvernay has a better chance at targets, maybe. Hall or ETN? ETN right now. ETN dropped 2 touchdown passes, guys. Like, if ETN caught both those touchdown passes, he'd have as good a game, if not better, than J-Rob. Now, granted, he didn't catch him. It's his fault. But, I mean, the point is, like, he was used. He was actually, what do you have, like 4 carries for 40-something yards or something? So ETN had good efficiency. What do you think about Jaylen Warren? I mean, you got to grab him. Buy low on Ceedee Lamb? I don't know, man. I don't think so. I mean, it depends on how long Dak's out, and you might preemptively want to buy him. and I get that. But Lamb going forward is not a wide receiver 1 right now. Like, how can he be? Maybe he's borderline, but I feel like oh my God, I feel like Lamb and Schultz just got taken down a whole notch. And Dak, I've seen people try and predict Dak's return. Oh, he's going to be out a couple weeks. Surgery on your hand, I don't think you can come back, and I don't think you can, on your throwing hand, on your thumb, I don't think you can come back in 2 weeks, bro. I know a couple people have said that. Mike White to Dallas. Let's go. Let's go. How about Clyde? Can we give Clyde a round of applause? I mean, Clyde came back, did Clyde type things. I'm excited about Clyde. I'm going to put my phone up here. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Let's put the phone right there. There we go. Doing it live. Pacheco. Love Pacheco. Must cuff. Can you guys hear me okay? Must cuff. Does it look like I'm driving, bro? Does it look like I'm driving? I'm sitting in my car because I have no power inside, and my phone was like 5%. So the only power I can get is turning on the vehicle, plugging the phone in. I'm definitely not driving. I'm staring right at the camera. But I appreciate your concern. You're only concerned. I'm not mad at you for being concerned. I'm definitely not driving, bro. This man casting in his car from the rainstorm. Everybody should be liking this video. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Chill with the attitude home. Who are you talking about? Me? Chill with the attitude homie. You talking to me? My attitude? What are you talking about? About 1 week for Higgins. Don't think Ceedee Lamb plummets. I think he does. I mean, they looked awful tonight. Imagine not having... I feel like what we saw tonight is what we're going to see. Why does Kadarius Toney suck? Bro, I don't know. Kadarius Toney's just that way, bro. Bro, I've been one down. Smitty the GOAT, always out here working. Appreciate you. It's been a bad day. Bro, I've been on the other stream for 15 minutes. What is the other stream doing? Is it just repeating? Ceedee could become a security blanket. Maybe G-Money. I mean, I think he's borderline wide receiver 1, though. Trade Lamb for Gabriel Davis. I don't know if I would do that. Makes you want to quit FF. Don't quit fantasy football. Devontae Smith. I like Devontae Smith. Buy him low. What about DJ Moore? Stay away. Damn, Smitty is a real one doing live stream outside in the middle of a storm. Let's see here. Chat is still open there. Okay, so the chat's open, but it's frozen. Pick up Curtis Samuel. Maybe, depends. Trade Mike Williams and Patterson for AJB or MT. Mike Williams and Patterson for AJ Brown. I don't know if I traded for MT. I'm not trusting MT fully yet, but I'm impressed that he scored and he's excited. Smitty, trade ETN for Akers and Henderson. Trade ETN for Akers and Henderson. No, I keep ETN. That's a freak out. That's a freak out, bro. Stand down. Stand down. Please help. Would you trade D-Hop and Garrett Wilson for Dillon and Hawkinson? D-Hop, Garrett Wilson, or Dillon. Yes, go get Dillon and Hawkinson. Dotson is going for... Dotson's... I don't know. I like McLaurin, but maybe Dotson's going to steal a lot of work and the two drown each other out, or Dotson... Could Dotson become better than McLaurin? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that right now. Smitty, how do you feel about Ceedee with Dak out? I've been talking about that for a bit. I'm not excited. I'll just tell you that. I'm not excited at all. Akers definitely looks bad. Godwin's injured. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. Stand down, son. I just love the guy who said told me I had a bad attitude or something. What's that guy about? Let's see. Get some backlighting to the studio here. There you go. A little backlighting to the studio. Wentz has weapons. He does. Smitty driving with peripherals. Nope. Ayuk. I mean, you can't judge anybody in that Bears game because that was absolute, it was like playing in a pool, bro. Jordan Mason, maybe. We'll see. Roll the window down. No thanks. Driving a truck. No. Let's hear the storm. Studio car storm. The lightning kind of stopped for the moment, but it's the storm all around. It's going to come back. Smitty, Aaron Jones for Debo. Probably take Debo at this point, bro. Aaron Jones doesn't... I didn't like Aaron Jones in mid-round 2. It felt a little high. You guys saw my draft grades. I'd always go, Aaron Jones, But, I mean, bro, Godwin's down, JK... the only one of the stay away injured players from last year that did well so far, I would say MT is looking like he could potentially be. Maybe he rebounds, or stays rebounded, rather. And J-Rob, I'm impressed with J-Rob. I'm not going to lie. I'm impressed with what J-Rob's doing. Can you guys hear that? You guys can see the thunder, hear the storm. I'm impressed with J-Rob, but do I think it could last? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's an Achilles tear. He's going to stress that thing out like to the max. A-Rob, Ayuk week 2. I suppose A-Rob. James Robinson, what's the James Robinson comment? James Robinson is a Wolverine. He might be. Smitty, are you concerned about CMC? Absolutely. I was concerned about CMC and Henry before week 1. I'm definitely trading both heading into week 2. And CMC scored, so people will probably pay the piper. I don't think you're going to have to sell him at a discount. I think somebody's going to buy him. Bateman looked nice, but he also had a really good matchup, so we'll see what he does in week 2. You can't see thunder, or the lightning, whatever. Smitty, I'm diehard Texans fan. I'm glad you believed in. I do believe in him, bro. Javonte, what was that question? Javonte versus Lockett +9. Javonte, but anything can happen. J-Rob only had a partial tear. J-Rob off the Achilles. How is it possible? There are different severities to it. Like if he didn't have the full rupture, and depending on how the surgery was performed, there's usually one way they do it, but there are other ways that I guess they're looking into doing it. I don't know exactly if he had a different form or version or whatnot, but it apparently a different doctor than the Akers doctor. We need to get the J-Rob doctor over talking with the Akers doctor to get the Akers doctor to do the J-Rob surgery. We'll call it the J-Rob surgery. What do we do with Kadarius Toney? Why do I keep getting asked that question? I'm not mad at you for asking it, but like there's something to do with Kadarius Toney. It's like saying, what do we do with this old 1950 engine that doesn't run, is broken, that's in my yard? What do we do with it? Do we sell it? No one's buying a Kadarius Toney broken down engine, I don't think. I mean, if you find somebody, let me know. The defenses will start stacking the box against the Cowboys. I know. R.I.P. your Zeke Elliott shares. Patterson locked in running back 2. Maybe, bro. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Smitty, how long is Dak out? I'd guess 4 to 8 weeks, bro. I say big window of time, 4 to 8 weeks. It could be 4 to 6. It could be 3 to 4. It could be 4 to... I'd say 4 to 6 probably sounds safest, actually. Good time to buy Eckler. You're going to see Eckler on the Buy Low show. You're going to see Kamara on the Buy Low show. What? Kamara? Yeah, you'll see Kamara on the Buy Low show. You'll see Eckler on the Buy Low show. You'll see a bunch of names on the Buy Low show. Look, it's the Buy Low and Sell High game is a special game. And it's a special game played with special prizes. And when you were sitting there, thank you for becoming a member, Roman. When you're sitting there and you see Kamara get devalued because he had a bad game and people are worried about his off-the-field issue on top of that, I bet you anything Kamara's a little cheaper than he should be this week. And all of his risk that you didn't get baked in if you drafted him in the second round probably might be baked in now if you go shopping using some of some of the sell high players. You go with a player like I don't know, Fournette and I don't know. You go with a player like MT. I bet you could trade Fournette and I'm trying to think of a wide receiver. I want to say MT, but maybe you don't want to do that. But Fournette MT would get you Kamara and something. I mean, you could get Kamara in a way that I don't think you would be able to get him coming off of a good game, right? So you're probably going to think this is crazy, but if someone said sell high on Barkley, I would say in theory, no. I know that's going to shock you. I like what I see out of Barkley. Like, I'm going to change. You're not going to see me dig my heels in and just say, I'm going to dig my heels in here because I said so and I want to be right. Look, I don't even look at it as right and wrong. I know a lot of you think, oh, Smitty, I told you, or now do you feel stupid? Or that's not how I look at things. I don't look at things like that. I look at things like the roulette wheel. And Fournette is a roulette wheel. Every player is a roulette wheel. And Fournette has, a certain number of bust X's on that roulette wheel and a certain number of green check marks and a certain number of indifferent dashes that are like, okay, he plays 15 games but does miss a couple, whatever. Fournette's green check mark space is increased with proving himself, which is all I wanted, and I said that over and over. Like, I want to see him do it. I want him to prove it to me. He proved it to me. So I like Barkley a lot. Would I sell anybody high? Sure. So in theory, I'm not saying sell him high. But in theory, I would sell anybody high. So if somebody comes knocking, and I've got Barkley, I'm not going to shop him. If somebody comes knocking, I will sell Barkley for the right price. I'll sell Javonte for the right price. I'll sell anybody for the right price. It also depends on my team. If my team is knocking it out of the park and I'm on my way to a championship, I may not sell anybody, even if the price seems right, because I love my team, so therefore the price isn't right. It all matters based on what's going on. Fournette did hobble off the field a little bit, it seemed. We'll see. We'll see if Fournette is injured or not. Look, I got a thunderstorm. Apparently my other live stream is going. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if it's frozen on my face and you're all in there chatting or what's going on. If somebody wants to go into that live stream and drop the link to this in that live stream, that might bring some more people over. We got 281 in here, only 77 thumbs up. Those are rookie numbers. We can pump those numbers up real nice. So if you guys at 277 in here, could the other 200 people maybe just consider punching the thumb up button for your boy Smitty, who's out here? I even rolled the window down because multiple people requested rain and thunderstorm sounds during the live stream. So I rolled my window down for you, and it's raining on my left shoulder. And I don't even care because I work for you. I work for you, and I don't even get a thumbs up. I don't even get, now I'm getting them. Okay, never mind. Wipe your feet at the door, thank you. Who do you trade for Miles Sanders? That's a guy I'm trading tonight. I'm trading Miles Sanders tonight. That guy gained a little bit of value last night. You can go get rid of, I don't like how half my face is, you can't even see it. How's that? Is that better? What if I put my AirPods in? I wonder if I'll be even clearer or sounding. Am I sounding okay? Can you guys hear me actually okay? If I back up like this, am I too quiet? Okay. Does it sound still okay? Okay. Let's talk more. I mean, we're gonna have a buy low, sell high show on Wednesday. Tuesday's Panic Chamber. You can find this out by going to my main banner in my YouTube, on my YouTube homepage. On the main banner, I have my schedule, okay? I have the schedule. Monday is Waiver Wire. Tomorrow's Waiver Wire ads. Tuesday is Panic Chamber. Wednesday's Buy Low, Sell High. Thursday is phone calls and marker board sessions. Friday, Fantasy Football Court and marker board sessions and phone calls. Saturday, start bench advice. One of those will probably be a speed Q&A round where we just boom, go through question after question, which we kind of do here. So we got all those things covered, but in between, of course, we're going to talk about everything. And what I just described to you, that assortment of amazing content on a schedule. Hopefully I get back in the studio and the power's working again. But that assortment that I gave you, that buffet of content, doesn't even include the Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern show.
that I do. Monday through Friday, the news show. So we're going to be tearing it up all year. Pierce, Dameon Pierce. Let's talk about Dameon Pierce. I know a lot of you are mad at me, and you're mad at Dameon. You're mad at Damien's mom. You're mad at Damien's grandma for having Damien's mom who had Dameon. You're mad straight down the ancestry line. You're just really angry at Dameon Pierce and everybody that turned you on to Dameon Pierce. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry Dameon Pierce didn't drop fire in week 1. I can't control it. The game script, Smitty, they're going to game script him out. They didn't game script him out. Oh, sorry, you dropped the dono, Avi. I'm sorry. Like, it was a positive game script, and he still, like, didn't get used. So, I don't know. I'm tired of people saying he won't. They're going to be down, and they're not going to run. The Texans are going to hang with people. When are people going to realize they're a pretty good team? We need a wide receiver 2, Mike Williams or A-Rob. Don't cut it. My team is CMC, Barkley, Hill, Herbert, Waller, AJ, Dillon, Patterson, Tony Pollard. Need to make a move, running back or wide receiver. So you got CMC, Barkley, and Dillon, and Patterson. You got Hill, and you got Herbert. So maybe you trade Patterson on the high for a wide receiver, bro. Like, I don't know. Could you? I'm not saying I like the idea because I don't even know what Lamb's going to do going forward, but could you trade Patterson for Lamb right now? Would some poor sap out there trade you Lamb for Patterson? And is that even a good move? Maybe I'm the poor sap. Maybe you would be the poor sap for doing that. I don't even know at this point what's up and what's down coming out of this week. Brandon with the super chat. Brandon, appreciate you. Brandon, I'll look for your question in case you post it. Kamara did this last year a few times, and he'll bounce back. He's a great buy low. Kamara's a buy low because you can package in everything you couldn't package in before when you wanted to draft him in the top of the second round, like I told you not to. Now you can go get him cheaper and package in the risk, of the potential video dropping and him getting raptured from the NFL just out of nowhere, because that full video drops, he's done. He's done. What happened to Dameon? I don't know. No one knows. We don't even know if maybe somebody kidnapped him before the game. We're not even sure. But if he got more volume, he would have been fine. I think they just didn't use him. It was his first game. I don't know what they were thinking on that. But it doesn't mean he's done. Doesn't mean it's 1 week. It's 1 week. It's 1 week. I would buy low on Dameon. I'm going to buy low on Dameon. Would you sell high on Michael Thomas? Yeah, I would. I wouldn't sell low. Like, me saying I'd sell high doesn't mean that I'm totally predicting that he can't come back at all. He's a total and utter bust. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I like what I see. There are 2 players that I drafted. Like, I didn't draft Akers. I told you stay away from Akers. I didn't draft Godwin. I said completely stay away from Godwin. But when it came to Barkley and when it came to MT, I admitted to you, there were times where I'd draft them. If they fell to the right value, I'd draft MT. I drafted MT in a bunch of leagues where he fell to my 4th wide receiver spot. And I felt great about that. So I drafted him. I mostly drafted him there so I could trade him. I don't mind holding him, but he had great trade value there. And in the leagues where I didn't trade him, I don't mind him. I don't mind him as a wide receiver. Now he's a wide receiver 2 all of a sudden, and I got him for a wide receiver 4. Barkley, I liked Barkley in round 3. I admit, I don't know how many times I got to admit it to people. I admittedly said I need to wait and see, let Barkley prove it to me before I would invest a round 2 pick in him. I wanted to wait and see. Barkley proved it to me, and I admit that. I like what I saw, but I didn't call him a bust. I said he's too high in round 2. So Barkley got there real quick for me. I like what I see out of Barkley. He's proving it. I still worry about injury. How could you not? Just because he had a good game doesn't mean he can't get hurt. Doesn't mean I'm not worried about this guy who we have coined as made of glass. He is so aggressive with his own body. The way he attacks the offense and defensive line, hitting his own players, hitting everybody, anybody around him. He goes straight at the line like, I don't know, like somebody running straight into a padded wall, like trying to, when like somebody's at a indoor track meet where someone's running the 100-yard dash and then the wall's there and they're like, boom, and they hit the wall at the end. This dude runs into the wall like his own lineman, like I worry about him getting hurt, but he looks phenomenal. He looks so strong. And that's what I wanted to see in a game with full contact, really hitting hard, getting tackled, not playing in a scrimmage, not playing against his own players, not holding back. Yeah, he's violent. That's the perfect word for it. He's violent. That worries me and excites me all at the same time. I have two feelings at the same time, just like on Sesame Street. There's two feelings that I'm feeling, and that's okay. One is scared. I'm scared that he's going to get hurt. Two is I'm excited because he looks like a freight train. Like, Barkley looked great. He looked great. What do you want me to say? He looked great. I like him now in retrospect in round 2. A little late to draft him there, but he looks great there in retrospect. So fine. Burrow. Stop complaining about Burrow, my people. Stop complaining about Burrow. He will be fine. He will be fine. Joe Burrow, Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, will be back to normal in week 2. He was back to normal in the fourth quarter. The dude turned a negative 3-point performance into like a 28-point performance in one league for me based on the scoring, and a 19-point performance in another, depending on the scoring. Dude did fine. Dude actually turned the game around in the fourth quarter, and that's all he did was play in the fourth quarter and did all that damage. Jamar Chase also dropped 2 touchdowns. Okay? Let's back up off the Joseph Burrow panic chamber suggestion and nomination. I'll put him in the panic chamber episode, but I can tell you right now, I'm not closing the doors. I'm not putting him in the panic chamber. I'll talk about him. Is he a panic chamber guy? I don't mean to spoil it, but I'm not putting him in the panic chamber. Okay? Jamar Chase dropped or he did get the feet in and didn't hold on to the ball 2 different times. Jamar Chase could have had 3 touchdowns in theory. 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow should have had 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, which would have been awful. He had 4 interceptions, but he would have 4 touchdowns to go with his 338 yards. Would have been a whole different ball game. ETN dropped 2 touchdowns. I know he dropped them. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. He dropped him. It is what it is. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I was disappointed in him. He's one of the better pass catchers coming out of his draft class by far. One of the best pass catchers coming out for a running back in the last 5 years. He had no business dropping footballs, but he did. I can't control it. I don't have his phone number. I can't send him an angry text for you, but I can tell you that if you freak out on ETN, you could be gravely upset and mistaken and heartbroken later on if he does return the value that you invested. Because all you can do right now is give ETN away for free or pennies on the dollar. And if you go and do that, you're going to be extremely disappointed in yourself. And I don't want you to do that. Naji Harris, we don't fully know what's going on with Naji. We've heard conflicting reports. It may not be that crazy. It may be a multiple week thing. Could it be an ACL? Might they have better results with the MRI tomorrow? His knee got twisted back. If you want my knee-jerk, just split-second reaction, when I first saw it, I thought, okay, his knee bent backwards. Usually when your knee bends backwards like that, here's your knee. You have an LCL on the outside. You have the MCL on the inside. This is the knee joint up here. I'm trying to find, let me see if I can, let's do a drawing here. Let's do a drawing. Do we got the cardboard box back here? I think we got the box. We still got the box? We still got the box. There we go. Okay. Here's the knee. On the knee, you have on the inside is the MCL. On the outside right here is the LCL. Okay? And what ends up happening is when you bend your leg backwards, if your leg, let's say you put you take your foot and instead of planting your foot on the ground, you take your toe and you put your toe down so that the top of your foot's on the ground, and then you bend your leg back. You know, when someone horse collar tackles you, and essentially, you oftentimes tear an ACL, or you end up tearing the LCL, which is right here, because the LCL, you run out of slack on it. And when you bend your leg back, like in the footage of what happened to Naji Harris, you run out of slack on the LCL, and you don't snap it usually, but you can tear it severely, and it's really, really painful. And so my initial guess when it happened was he tore his LCL a little bit, probably tore either some meniscus, because that knee got pinched in an awkward situation where, he tore meniscus, or he could have tore his ACL in a combination of that. Is it possible that his Liz Frank injury is what he ended up hurting? What he ended up, his foot got caught up and he went back. Sure. There's all different reports going on. We'll know more tomorrow. I think he'll probably be more okay than not okay, but we don't know. We just don't know that. A lot of times these guys could go in for an MRI. They think they're okay, and then they realize they have a torn ACL. The knee is still tight when they do the test to see if the knee has any give to it to make sure the ACL is intact. They do that test on site. Basically, they take your knee, they make you sit, right? You sit on a table, you let your leg dangle off the edge of the table. They grab behind the knee, and they yank forward real quick. And it's a real quick test. And if the knee comes forward, so right here's the knee, they bend the knee, right? And they're hanging, here's the thigh, the bottom of the thigh, they're on the table. They pull on the joint. So here's the knee, it bends like that. They pull on the joint, and if the knee goes like this, that means the ACL is gone. Because if the ACL was there, it would do this. Here's the ACL, here's the knee. So here's the knee straight. When it bends like this, if they pull on it, the ACL holds it. If the ACL is gone and they do that test, the knee goes like this. And so they do that test on site. And if his knee was tight when they pulled it, they thought, oh, he didn't tear his ACL. But it's possible there's a tear in there that you can't play on. You got to get it repaired. And so those things kind of happen. We don't really know what's going on with his knee. Possible Liz Frank injury issue that he's dealing with. Yes, absolutely. Smitty, most reports are saying his foot injury, no knee issue. I know, that's what I'm saying. We'll find out more tomorrow. There's reports kind of all over the place. We don't fully know if it's his foot, if that situation caused more damage to his Liz Frank injury foot issue that was there. That's maybe even, I don't want to say it's worse in that scenario. Am I panicking on what? I don't know. I don't want to say that's worse, but it could be, because a Liz Frank injury could keep you out a while. So if he had a Liz Frank injury and he came out and he injured and he's supposed to be healthy, right? He's on the field, and he re-injures the Liz Frank injury, or Liz Frank, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I highly doubt he's going to just come back in a week. So we'll see. Someone said high ankle sprain. That's what I'm saying. The reports are all over. We don't really know. He may have an MRI. He may not have an MRI. It may be an ankle. It may be his Liz Frank injury. We'll find out. Godwin, we'll find out more on that as well. I'm live right now. I've got no power. So you guys probably know more about Godwin than I do, because I was literally in the middle of doing stuff and my power went out. Liz Frank could keep you out an extended period of time. It depends on the grade. But yes, if he had a Liz Frank injury and it went away, supposedly, he went out onto the field, got tackled wrong, and the Liz Frank injury popped back up and was sore, and he's got soreness now, and now he's like hurting and he's limping, and you're telling me the Liz Frank injury is just going to go away again in a week? I don't think so. That means he's probably out multiple weeks. If I had to guess, he's not coming back in a week or two. Maybe it's 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, who knows? No one knows. No one knows until tomorrow. We'll know more tomorrow. But everyone kept asking, what do I think? What do I think? I don't know, because I'm in my car and the power went out. I'm just sitting here with you. I know as much as you in this moment about these injuries, because I'm live on using the only source of information I have. Everything else is powered down when my studio went dark and the whole neighborhood's gone dark. Like, I'm sitting in my car. Thank goodness I got enough gas to go 54 miles in case I need to go fill up after I keep the air on and the lights on and everything in the makeshift car studio. that we're rolling with right now. Because your boy Smitty might have to, I might go running too if this weather calms down. Is Mike Williams a bad play? We don't know. We don't know. To be honest, Keenan Allen's going to be out an extended period of time. I kind of feel like Mike Williams should step up, right, and be a pretty good buy low candidate. But where was he? You know, when Keenan Allen went down, where was Mike Williams then? I don't know. He could be such a disappointment at times. It really sucks when players continue to go down a pattern and have a pattern like that you can count on. You know, and this is why sometimes I avoid players that have a lot of injury history, like Godwin, who's coming back, rushing himself back from an ACL tear. This is why I said stay clear of him, because there's a pattern. He's injury prone. He's injury prone and coming back from a torn ACL and rushing back from a torn ACL. Injury seemed inevitable. In retrospect, probably shouldn't have drafted Naji Harris where we drafted him when the moment we heard he was dealing with the Liz Frank injury, which was like literally the last minute anyway. But anybody that had a draft after that news, it's always better to err on the side of caution. And you know, I feel like I should have maybe beat that horse a little bit more when the Liz Frank injury news came out. Just because, I mean, the odds are greater that player is going to suffer injury. It's just the odds go up. Whether they avoid it or not is an entirely different conversation. It's like the roulette wheel. Everybody's a roulette wheel. There's still a chance that they have a no injury season, but it's just what kind of chances did Naji have knowing that information? The thing that sucks is that information should have been out there. It wasn't. It's suppressed. We don't have all the correct information. The news media, it's all suppressed. We should have had that information. And I know some people say they don't care about your fantasy football. Well, I don't care that they don't care about our fantasy football. I care about our fantasy football. I also care about the news media outlets. There's a lot of gambling involved. There's a lot of, daily content, daily stuff that's a lot of income generating stuff that's related to this. So it's not just us, not just fantasy. They don't care about your fantasy. They should care about the fantasy football impact. They should also care about the casinos and all the other money that gets shoveled in for revenue generating situations. Like, they should care. We should have the most and up-to-date information. We don't. Teams hold back information from us. Why didn't we know he had a Liz Frank injury? Why didn't we know? I appreciate you saying the dedication I have going live in my driveway with the power out in the abode behind me. I appreciate you appreciating it, because some people don't appreciate it. Some people, every once in a while, say, Smitty, very unprofessional of you to go live in a restaurant when I could see a bathroom sign way behind you in the corner. Remember that guy? He said, why don't you just wait? It's better to just wait till you get back to the studio the next day than to do some kind of unprofessional live stream. Like, as if this isn't something that you can enjoy, some people, I appreciate you appreciating me, is what I'm trying to say. Because there are a lot of people that don't appreciate it. And it does get wearing. On a day like today where you're struck with injury, all these players, dropping duds. Yeah, we had a lot of wins today. The show had a lot of wins. Hurts, A.J. Brown, Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We had a plethora of wins today. Just absolute home runs. But we whenever you give even one bad piece of advice to somebody one time, and I answered thousands of questions, it bothers me. It bothers me that Pierce didn't do well. It bothers me. It bothers me that I said go Eli Mitchell to somebody that had a player that they shouldn't have started that did better than Eli Mitchell. And it's like, it's crazy. It gets you all riled up. I work for you, and I feel every bit of it. Like, it hits me to my core when I feel like even one of my people lost a week because of something that came from the show. I can't produce 100% accuracy, but it still hurts me inside my soul. It's probably why my power went down, karma. Because I said, get Dameon Pierce in your lineups, and then the power shut down as a way of showing me I shouldn't have said it. Eli Mitchell thoughts, probably out a while, bro. If I had to guess, I can't even show you the picture because my phone is in use, but his knee was like this. Let me tell you another example. I wish I could get my knee model. I could run into the house and get it, but when your knee's like this, bro, top of the knee, this is the top of the knee joint, this is the bottom of the knee joint. When you get hit from the side, this is the inside of the knee. So pretend this is my left leg, and this is the inside of my knee. When you get hit from the outside, you go like this with your knee, right? The helmet's coming here, and it makes it buckle that way. Well, you have the MCL on the inside of that knee like this. And when it buckles that way, it's pulling that MCL and tearing it. And so you see the photo, and if you pause the photo right on the knee, it's tearing that MCL and pulling it. You can't see it tear the MCL, obviously, but if you have x-ray vision, you could. And you could look through it, you could see that MCL being stretched. I highly doubt that, and I could be wrong, this is my guess, I'm totally guessing, okay? Totally guessing. I highly doubt that Mitchell doesn't have a pretty significant MCL tear as well as meniscus tear, because inside you have the meniscus padding in the knee joint, right? You have your MCL up here, your LCL over here, and when the helmet hit this knee and pulled that MCL over here, stretched it, it also pinched the meniscus in this corner right here. It's pinching it, pinches the meniscus. Wouldn't surprise me if he tore the MCL and also tore the opposite corner, the adjacent corner meniscus, because that's the way that usually happens. They go hand in hand. Football is a nasty sport. When you tear an ACL, you tear an MCL, you tear a meniscus, you're always tearing something. It comes in 2s and 3s. I tore my knee up, I tore my MCL, I tore my LCL, I tore my ACL that's in the middle, and I tore the meniscus all up. It's really hard to tear those side ligaments or the ACL in the middle and not tear meniscus, because that's the padding. And if your knee's going left, right, forward, or backward, right, and that's where you usually tear it in football, you're pinching one of those corners of the meniscus. So I could be wrong. He could be fine. But I don't know that. I don't see how, looking at that footage, unless his knee was like rubber and it just went back and it's fine. Like, I don't know how that could be possible, but my guess is MCL. MCL coupled with meniscus, or at least MCL, out 4 to 6 weeks, or 3 to 6 weeks maybe. And if Eli Mitchell rushes back, then he probably gets hurt again. Who's the backup to Eli Mitchell as of right now? If it was up to me, which it's not, it would be Jordan Mason. Put Jordan Mason in as this year's Eli Mitchell. Ty Davis Price, if you don't want to go that direction, put him in. But will Shanahan put in Wilson? Will Jeff Wilson, the inefficient Jeff Wilson, get shoved into this roster, this lineup? And if he does, is he worth picking up? Are you, like, if you've got to make a call right now to pick up one player, Jordan Mason, Ty Davis Price, or pick up the starter on Sunday, Jeff Wilson, and you can only make one move, what do? Do you take the gamble and pick up the guy that might be starting later in Jordan Mason after Wilson goes out there for 2 quarters and gets hurt? Or do you just take the guy that's in the lineup right now and say, well, hopefully he stays healthy? I don't know, bro. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. I guess if you needed the player, drop Eli for James Robinson. No, I don't think you could drop Eli Mitchell, bro. You can't drop him. If you drop him, I'd pick him up. I'd join your league just to pick him up, bro. I'm not gonna let you do that. But you can't drop him. You should have an IR spot. If he's going to be out, you should have an IR spot. Yeah, this is exactly what Bot said. You should have an IR spot. Duvernay or Curtis Samuel, I don't know that I'm ever using either of them in my lineup. You know, I'd rather scoop up one of these RBs. And Eno Benjamin, grab him. And I know everybody grabbed him because I said grab him before this week in case something happens now, and he looks really good. And what if they use him in the Chase Edmonds role with Connor, and there's no injury that even needs to happen, and people get excited about him and they scoop him up just to wait? I love that work. Thank you, work, for answering the audio question. He's watching from the beginning. He said, audio sounds great. Love it. Someone tell him to fast forward. Monty went 17 for 26. Yeah, he had a bad game. Khalil Herbert taking over soon. Khalil Herbert's going to rank inside the top 2 or 3, if I had to guess right now, on tomorrow's waiver wire show. In the top 2 or 3, somewhere in there. Because Khalil Herbert has win a league potential to the extreme. This could be the Eli Mitchell of 2022 with ease. Ron Navy's watching from the beginning also. Awesome. That's fine. T. Higgins out too. Yeah, T. Higgins. I had my whole setup ready. Is the power back on? No, it's still out. The whole neighborhood is out. I had the whole setup. I had all the injuries mapped out on my screen. I was doing an injury video. I don't even know if my live stream is still going. The other one that's supposed to end. Can someone confirm if that finally ended? My other live stream? People are telling me I'm a Martian and I have a twin. I have an evil twin that's going live right. I don't even know. Ron the Don, can we drop the new Ron Navy emoji that I added last night, please? Can my YouTube exclusive members please drop the new Ron Navy emoji? I uploaded it last night. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's got big energy. It's got big hands. Drop it. Drop the anchor. There it is. The Ron Navy anchor emoji. Appreciate Ron Navy. I'm still betting on ETN, as you should, Kayla. And don't let people run you out of that type of thinking in 1 week's time. ETN should have grabbed that touchdown pass. The guy had multiple touchdowns he could have had in this game. Multiple touchdowns he could have had. I don't even understand how he dropped that touchdown. I felt like I could have caught that touchdown with my eyes closed, and it was like someone just threw the ball like from here to the camera, and he just dropped it. I don't even understand. Marcus Mariota a sleeper? Probably not. Drop Rashad White for Herbert. Probably right now, yes, but we got to also find out. Fournette limped off the field at the end of the game. We got to find out if that was something minor. Maybe he's just, got a cramp or something. We don't know. But Fournette was limping, reportedly coming off the field. There's a lot of people saying that they saw that. And there's a report floating around there. I forget where I saw it. Somebody might have said it on Twitter, and it could be lies. I didn't see him limp personally, but if he was limping off the field, I got to check out the video. I can't do anything. My power's out. What am I going to do? I'm relying on you. I'm relying on all my little reporters out there, my 392 little reporters out there that aren't hitting the thumb up button, by the way. 179 thumbs up. We got almost 400 bills sitting in here. 800 eyeballs. I don't know if all of you have 2 eyes. Maybe 1 or 2 of you don't. But I have literally, I believe, right around 800 eyeballs on me right now, and only 180 thumbs up. He just walked off the field, says Obi. Well, somebody said he was limping. I didn't see it, but multiple people have told me, and I saw another report, like I said, on Twitter about it. I don't know if it's true. Smitty, would you do Lamar Mooney for Mahomes and Nico Collins? Lamar Mooney, give me Mahomes. Where's the food locker, Smitty? Not going there tonight. Limped and he's wincing, says Gage. Drop Rashad White for Pacheco. Probably Pacheco. But again, you got to monitor this Leonard Fournette thing first, though, okay? Before you make the move. We could put the claim in or something. But I take Khalil Herbert, Pacheco, or Pacheco, Khalil Herbert, then Rashad White moving into week 2. Don't drop Rashad White. Is Panic Chamber, Pierce in the Panic Chamber? He'll be in the conversation for sure, and he may be in the Panic Chamber. Sometimes people are in Panic Chamber, inside the Panic Chamber, and I actually close the door on them. But it doesn't mean I don't like them inside the Panic Chamber. There's panic. There's reason to panic. Naji Harris and Pitts for Swift and Ertz. Oh man, what do you guys do? You got to take Swift and Ertz over Pitts and Naji. You have to at this point, right? Am I right? Does anybody disagree with that? You have to take Swift and Ertz over Pitts and Naji right now. Am I wrong on that? You have to, because if he's out a while, Ron Navy, I don't know if Ron Navy's watching this live anymore, or if he's still way back there. But I'd love to see what he's saying. You will be loving life, Jacob. I think he's caught up. $20 hauler, mashed potatoes. We're gonna give you the manual version of mashed potatoes. Smitty, my starting wide receivers are Chase, AJ Brown, and St. Brown. Because of you, appreciate your knowledge and help. My guy starting running backs are Javonte, Pierce, and Dylan. Plan on starting Dylan over Pierce until Pierce is going off. Good call. Yes, that's a very, very good call. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you telling me that you're doing well. Like I said, it bothers me when even one person isn't hitting a home run in week 1 in their league, in week 2, week 3, making the playoffs. It just bothers me. Like I literally could sit there and go, I could be 80, I could be 99 out of 100 on calls, which doesn't happen. No one can humanly possibly do that. But if someone's like, who do you go here? I go here, I go here, I go here. Then question 100 before my live stream ends, somebody says Pierce or James Robinson, and I'm like, Pierce, ha 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 ha. And then the stream ends. Pierce gets whatever Pierce got. What do you get? Like 5 points, 4 points, whatever. And then James Robinson scores 2 touchdowns. Didn't get a lot of yardage. Carried the ball 11 times. Got 2 touchdowns. And then I'm sitting there thinking about Bob during my whole dinner, and I'm just stewing about my answer that I gave Bob, because it's one thing, but it still bothers me as if it's 100. You can't tell people to draft Saquon. He got hurt so much, says Joe. Huh? What are you talking about? Smitty, what is your worst and best start sit this week? I don't know, bro. I mean, there's so many. There's hundreds. I mean, they're all the same. They're all the same in some way. Like there's different varieties and versions of them. But it's like Pierce was one of the worst starts because he was a no-brainer to me, and I stand by the logic behind it. It was a no-brainer to me. There were no signs. The only pessimistic viewpoint was that mostly coming from people that didn't own him. If anybody didn't own Pierce, they were against him because they didn't get him. They didn't have him. They didn't have the foresight to get him, and it seems laughable now because he didn't do anything in week 1. But that's where that comes from. It's the psychology. It's why I love psychology. The psychology behind the fantasy football mindset. Like if you were a Pierce hater, but then you found Pierce got cut and you picked him up, you'd be on the Pierce bandwagon in here with everybody else. If Bob, who's pessimistic about Pierce, saw him get released after he was very negative in the live stream the night before last, and then all of a sudden he could get Pierce, he'd come in the live stream the next day going, picked him up off the waiver wire. Are we Team Pierce or are we not? And then Bob runs Pierce out there and is disappointed just like us. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Smitty Ethos is on the line tomorrow night with Javonte. I mean, it is and it isn't, bro. I mean, it is what it is. Like Javonte, you got at extreme value. I was not telling a single soul to draft Javonte in the first round. Javonte's in round 2. Unless Javonte went out and got hurt, which I can't control. He's not an injury-prone player or anything like that. Unless he goes out and gets hurt, I don't see how Javonte can't earn you that mid to late second round value on the season. Who knows what happens in week 1? But I don't see how he can't earn mid to late second round value, even if I'm wrong and he shares carries all year. That's almost baked into second round value. You know what I'm saying with Javonte? So I'm not even really worried about it. And the honest truth is, I've missed big predictions before, bro. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying you said that in a negative way, but like, I'm not worried about it because I'm going to go out there and throw bold predictions out there every year. And sometimes when you go bold like I do, you go a little bit harder on the predictions. You go a little bit harder on the number of bold things that you throw out there. And I'm not throwing mud at the wall. There's a lot of logic behind it. I have super monster big accurate years. And occasionally I'm not to try and to downgrade my own product here in front of 400 people, but occasionally I'm going to have a year where maybe I'm not as proud as the other years because injury struck. I don't necessarily, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let's talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. One of my biggest misses in the last 5 years is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This guy's going to be a first-round pick. You're going to be sorry if you don't take him. Busted 2 years in a row. One of my worst predictions, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I feel like I wasn't wrong about Clyde. I was wrong assessing Clyde's situation, and there's a lot of variables involved that maybe I should have taken more careful, diligent account of. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire was dealt one of the crappiest hands you could be dealt. Okay? First year, injuries. He blew up in week 1. We thought we had a gold mine. We were selling everything to buy CEH shares coming out of week 1. He blew up in week 1. We hit a gold mine in week 1. You remember it. Everybody remembers it. Loved Clyde Edwards-Helaire. What happened? Clyde busted 2 years in a row. What happened last year? Clyde had his gallbladder removed. He was playing at 160 pounds instead of 209. No one knew. I couldn't even tell. Clyde was playing at 160 pounds, that little guy. That little guy has heart of gold. And he was out there trying his best at 160 pounds, and he couldn't do it. And so 2 years in a row. But look at Clyde now. Clyde's in good positioning. Clyde had 2 touchdowns today. He's the veteran. Clyde knows the offense. Clyde is a most complicated playbook in the NFL, one of the most complicated systems in the NFL. And Clyde knows it. Clyde's got it front and back. He's the PPR guy. His 2 touchdowns were catches. They're receptions. So he's the PPR guy. He's the cemented in PPR guy. There's no more important role in terms of the running backs than the PPR guy on that KC roster because they throw a ton. He caught 2 touchdown passes today. He's involved. If Clyde Edwards-Helaire stays healthy, he could possibly get a little bit of what I thought he'd become and tear it up in 2022 and be one of the bigger steals. He could also get hurt. That could be part of my assessment that's wrong. So when you asked the question before, what is my biggest miss? What's my biggest look? We're all gonna hit and miss some of those things. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is definitely one of those guys I'm pulling for to make me look right from 2 years ago because I was wrong 2 years ago on Clyde. If someone is right even 51% of the time, we'd be rich. Look, some years I feel like you could say like 70% range on some of the bigger bold prediction stuff. There's going to be a year or two where things don't go your way. That's the nature of fantasy football. But I'm out here doing good things, working for you, providing you the news, and providing you the best take and analysis I can give you on each individual player, break down the injuries like no one else. And I think we're pretty accurate, and I think we find the bold predictions and breakouts pretty much better than anybody else. So I think we're going to continue to do it. I don't care what doesn't work out. I don't care if we missed on Dameon Pierce in week 1. I'm not even packing it in on Dameon Pierce in week 1. Dameon Pierce is a good buy low candidate. And I think people are freaking out. Week 1 has there's always opportunity coming out of week 1. Always opportunity. Damian with the mashed potatoes, appreciate you. The message was all positive, Smitty. My teams are stacked because of you. Won all my leagues. My Chase, AJ Brown and St. Brown trip is filthy. I wasn't even saying it toward any one individual, but I appreciate your super chat. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Panic on Rodgers. You're the best analyst I know. Thank you, Ski. I appreciate you. Gibby fumbles coming, though. Bet the house, says Kyle. I hope not, because that would take his job away. You know, McKissick would be in there. I think Gibby's a good sell high. Miles Sanders is a good sell high. I'm not saying Miles Sanders didn't impress a little bit. I think he impressed himself, to be honest with you. I think he was shocked when he scored that touchdown. I think he looked around and said, I'm in the end zone. Holy shit. I'm in the end zone. This is a good day. I did not expect this. When I woke up this morning and I got out of bed pessimistic about my situation and spat on my jersey and I said, they don't feed me enough over here. I did not expect this to be in the end zone. I think he was completely shocked and embarrassed that he didn't have a touchdown dance prepared or anything. I'm selling this man. Miles Sanders as quick as I can. And if I'm wrong, guess what? I don't care because I get somebody that I like. That's the whole point. When you make a trade and you trade away a player that ends up working out and you were wrong by doubting them, doesn't matter. You're going and getting a player you like even better than that player delivering. So when I go trade Miles Sanders, I'm getting a guy I like that even if it works out for both of us, fine. I still want the player. That's how you know you make a good trade. Power on? I don't know if the power, because look, I went live. I powered up my computer again, and then it went out again. So I'm not gonna hold my breath that the power is gonna stay on. On your advice, traded Elliott and Judy for Barkley. Woo! See, like there's an example where someone's gonna say I'm all down on Barkley. Smitty didn't want Barkley. Like I was only down on Barkley at like when people were taking him too high, in my opinion, at the time. Doesn't mean I didn't like him. Like, look at this guy. KCM says, on your advice, traded Elliott and Judy for Barkley. And now look at him. He's running circles around his people. Running circles around his... Oh, my chat's frozen. No, okay, there you go. Mike Williams always been boomer bust. Absolutely. Keenan Allen with the hamstring concerns. Absolutely concerns. We don't know how long Keenan Allen's going to be out. Torres says, yeah, but got paid the bag, expected more from Mike Williams. Absolutely. Look, it's week 1 though, guys. Even with Mike Williams, we gotta calm down a little bit, okay? Gotta calm down a little bit. Got Smitty to thank. Appreciate you guys for all the positive feedback. Put up 160 this week. Still have Javonte and DK. That's awesome, Taddy. Taddy dropping biscuits all over the field. Smitty going to the move inside 7-Eleven. What? When his car stream goes down. Yeah, maybe I'll go to 7-Eleven. Williams and A-Rob are my wide receivers. It hurts. I mean, I told you not to draft A-Rob. But I also said draft Barkley in round 3 instead of round 2. It is what it is. Akers is a total avoid. Godwin, we'll see how Godwin is. But Godwin's already hurt. He rushed back. If J.K. Dobbins played, he'd probably be hurt. You know, J.K. Dobbins not playing was probably the best thing J.K. Dobbins could have done. My team sucks, Smitty. You don't answer my questions, and now I'm in last in my league, says Ricardo. Sorry, Ricardo. I just read that question, though. Ricardo, I'm here answering questions all day long, every day, every night, every evening. Like, Ricardo, who goes live more than me? No, the answer is nobody. I'll answer it for you. I go live at 7 p.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday. It's an hour show. And Ricardo, how long do you think I go live for? And you don't have to pay, Joe. I'm answering all these questions here that you know, when I can do it. I of course answer super chats when they come in. I want to answer the super chats when they come in. But Ricardo, I go live literally every single day, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour show. I sometimes go live for 2 or 3 hours during the hour show. I stay a whole extra 2 or 2.5 hours sometimes. Ricardo, I go live pretty much every night on top of that. Ricardo, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, Ricardo. I don't know how you think I'm not. I'm in my car. I got a thunderstorm. The power went out. What analyst would walk to his car and restart the stream? Ricardo? Me. The answer is me, Ricardo. I personally just like football talk. Only guy I watch. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. What else we got? ETN, Breece Hall. I don't know what to do with ETN and Breece Hall. You hold them. Who's going to buy them? No one's going to buy them. I still appreciate Ricardo. I want to win Ricardo over. Ricardo, ask me a question. Let's help you. Loso just became a Sunday video call exclusive member. Mashed potatoes. Honk the horn. Mashed potatoes, bro. Probably woke up Miss Smitty. Honking the horn for you, Los. Honking the horn for you. And you guys are missing out on these Zoom calls. We go on Zoom twice on Sundays at halftime of the morning games. As soon as the first game goes to halftime, you go straight to my community tab on YouTube. You click on it and you'll see a, hey, I'm live on Zoom post. Click the link, jump into the Zoom call. Halftime of the it just said you were a YouTube exclusive member. Maybe it's telling me late. I don't know. If you're a member, you also get access to the Sunday Zoom call during the evening game. So during this Cowboy game, we went live at halftime and went over the best buy low, sell highs. What a great day of football, says Big Dog. Appreciate you, Big Dog. How you feeling about MT? MT's looking good. Do I trust him fully? No. Just because he's looking good doesn't mean I feel like he'll stay healthy, but he's looking good. Big Dog in the house. Hunt, look great. Do I sell high Nick Chubb? I kind of do. I know Nick Chubb looked good, but look, you got an opportunity to sell high. I'm not asking you to give up on him or call him a bust. I'm asking you to look into selling him high if you can. If you can't, you can't. Hunt was so involved, it worries me. Like, Nick Chubb had really high efficiency. If Nick Chubb didn't have, and granted he did that himself, he did that. He's efficient because he's efficient, not because anybody else made him efficient. But if he wasn't ultra efficient on said day, he wouldn't have had that yardage in that day. So Chubb is a guy that I think I just look to sell him high. It's not disrespectful. It's just, hey, he's got great value right now, and you're sitting here looking at, you know, Kareem Hunt being ultra active. Subbed on my phone and MacBook. Let's go. Appreciate you. Mills looks good. He does look good. I love Mills. I like the Texans. I like the Bills, or of course I like the Bills. I like the Texans. I like the Lions. These are both underrated teams. Mason will be the 2022 Eli Mitchell. We're thinking, Jesse, he might be. Mitchell or TDP. I'm sorry, Mason or TDP. I like Mason a little more. TDP is probably a potential thought, but Mason's the better player, I think, in my opinion, for that offense, from what I've seen. But TDP's got probably a little bit more of an edge, maybe, I would guess. Swift, St. Brown to the moon, absolutely. Gibson, Juju for Eckler. And I mean, I'd take that straight up. Eckler and what was the question? Juju, where was that? You called it on the Lions being better this year. Thank you. Appreciate you, Big Dog. Gibson and Juju for Eckler is never going to happen. That's true. I was going to say, why did I see that? How you feeling about Ayuk and Elijah Moore? I mean, give Ayuk a shot. Give Ayuk a chance. Mooney, play next week. Yeah. I mean, he's a wide receiver 3-4. He played in a pool of water, you know, that was like this thick. I mean, why? We can't judge him off that. We can't judge Trey Lance. We can't judge anybody playing in that game. That was a brutal game that I think would have made Patrick Mahomes have a bad day. You know, he probably would have had a better day than Trey Lance, but I'm just saying he wouldn't have had a 5 TD game. You put Mahomes in that weather, it probably would have been one of those kind of mediocre days for Mahomes that he sometimes can occasionally have. AJ Brown to the moon, baby. That's right. We've got a couple. I'm not tearing down the tripod. I will make an official cousin of the tripod, the alternate version of the tripod. That alternate version of the tripod is Hurts, AJ Brown, and Javonte Williams. That's the alternate version of the tripod. The cousin, the sister, the brother, whatever. But we're not tearing down the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Javonte Williams tripod. It was never designed to be the highest draft capital tripod group of 3 players. It was designed to be the best value, given that Joe Burrow goes in round 6 or 7. Given, Jamar Chase does go in round 1, but he goes in late round 1. And given that Javonte Williams sometimes goes in late round 2 or top of round 3, there's a reason why we love that particular grouping of 3 players and called them the tripod. Now, Javonte, Hurts, and AJ Brown are even slightly better value. And given how good they look, I have no problem making them an equal or even potentially the leader tripod of the 2 tripod cousins, if you know what I'm saying. Well, I'm screwed, says Raul. Sorry, Raul. I'm here to help you if you need it. Should I try and trade Devontae Smith? I don't think you can. I think you got to ride it out. No one's going to be like, hey, Devontae Smith, trade him to me. I heard he did nothing in week 1. So you can't really move him. You know, these one player moves. I get a lot of those questions. Smitty, should I trade, like somebody like, should I trade Braxton Berrios? I mean, no one's going to come get him. You know, like you're going to have to either hold, cut, or whatever. Rushing upside is dummy, though. What's that mean? Naji update, we don't really have one. There's reports it's his ankle. There's reports it's his Liz Frank injury again. There's reports that it could be his knee. We don't really know. Do I think Devontae will bounce back? I do. I think, look, there were no touchdown passes in that Philly game from Hurts, coming out of Hurts. Hurts will score touchdowns through the air. Could have 3 or 4 TD games. So you can't really blame a receiver when the quarterback does most of the damage on the ground and A.J. Brown and him just kind of play catch all day. You're going to see eventually see Devontae Smith start tearing it up, because once Jalen Hurts is in throwing mode, and that was a crazy game. It was a fun game to watch, probably the most fun game out of all of them. Jalen Hurts is going to get into a mode where he's throwing 3 and 4 TD games every other week. He may do 1 or 2 touchdowns and run 1 or 2 in one week. He may run no touchdowns in and throw 4 touchdowns one week. He's a 2 to 4 TD guy, like locked in, it feels. Total TD guy. The days he has big passing days, he's going to involve Devontae Smith more. It's just natural pecking order of things. So I absolutely love Devontae Smith. He's a great buy low. No one's going to buy him. You might as well put him on the bench and wait. This is ETN's first NFL game. He'll be fine. I agree, D-Town. I think people are freaking out about ETN. Look, let me tell you something. There's no way that this coaching staff is like sitting here going like this. Okay, throw the ball to ETN on 2. Hike, throw the ball. He drops it. Oh, we're done. We're moving on. You know, like ETN's not done. He's the focal point of the offense. He's supposed to be. Christian Kirk did really well. James Robinson did really well. And ETN actually did pretty well when you look at the numbers and efficiency. He had like 4 carries for 60 yards? What was it? 4 carries for whatever amount of yards. Can someone look it up? I don't have anything in front of me. The whole neighborhood's out of power. It's actually back now. It might be stable enough to go in and I'm not going to restart the live though. We got 380 people in here. If I go back in and restart it, we're going to have like 220 people instead of 386. And then like, what's the point? So we're here, we're doing it live, whatever. We'll keep rolling with it. But somebody look up ETN's stats for me, please. I believe it was 4 carries for like a phenomenal amount of yardage. It was like 44 yards. It was something like, it was 4 carries for like 44, 46 yards. Worried about Lamb, 46 yards. 4 carries, right, for 46 yards. And people are complaining about ETN. He's fine. He just dropped 2 touchdown passes. Had ETN caught even one of those touchdown passes, we'd be talking about how good ETN is. 1 catch. If he just would have caught that 1 touchdown catch, not the 2, 1, we'd be going ETN to the moon. Woo! Now everybody's freaking out. Should I cut him? Or 4 carries for 47 yards. I'm sorry. 4 carries for 47 yards, 2 for 4. Yes. And it was a touchdown catch. And it would have been like, a 15, 20-yard catch or whatever. So you'd had more yardage, another PPR point for catching the ball, and then he would add a touchdown. Bare minimum. Joey says, worried about Lamb. Thank you for the super chat. Did I miss any other super chats at all? Can you guys let me know if I did? I think there's one right here. ETN or Kareem Hunt. I did miss one. I'm sorry. AJ, you still here? I apologize, AJ. ETN or Kareem Hunt. Give me ETN in week 2. Or I don't know about that one. ETN or Kareem Hunt. What do you guys think? Let's do a group think on that one. ETN or Kareem Hunt in week 2. Maybe we go Kareem Hunt in week 2, and then we do ETN if he looks good. Let's go Hunt. I changed my mind. I go Hunt. I got a Hunt. I got an ETN. I got a Hunt. Can't lie, Hunt. Edmonds or ETN. I go ETN in that case. Hunt. The Hunt votes have it. Hunt's just safer. But I like ETN a lot going forward in terms of a buy low. So go buy low. Got a lot of Hunt votes. The Hunt votes are winning. Thoughts on Christian Kirk? Look, he did good. Make fun of this man's payday all you want. He was one of the better wide receivers in week 1. What do you got to say about that? Everybody ripping on this guy. Oh, what a waste of money. He reset the market, Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk delivered. And my boy Ron Navy, if he's in here, he loved Christian Kirk. So drop an anchor for Ron. Ron knew that Christian Kirk was going to have a big day. He had a big day. I like Christian Kirk right now as a wide receiver 3-4. You're in a bind or you build a certain way where you got really cheap wide receivers. I mean, Kirk delivered. Kirk did his job. Kirk earned his money. Lamb, the question keeps coming up. Lamb. Am I worried about Lamb? Who wouldn't be worried about Lamb? Lamb is in trouble. If Dak is out for like 4 to 6 weeks, Lamb goes from being a top 5 wide receiver to like number 12. And that's being generous. Because at the end of the day, am I really wanting to start Lamb with no Dak Prescott over a St. Brown, who's borderline top 12? I'll probably start St. Brown. Do I really want to start Ceedee Lamb over a guy like DK Metcalf? We'll find out tomorrow night how we feel about that, right? Because honestly, I think if DK comes out with a touchdown and 80 yards, and you're like, Geno Smith does love him, and DK can survive anything. He can go up and jump ball with any defender in the NFL. Maybe DK's going to be okay. Maybe he's special. He's different than other wide receivers like McLaurin, who don't have a good quarterback and don't really ever live up to potential. DK Metcalf, not calling him Calvin Johnson. Please don't act like I said he's Calvin Johnson. But Calvin Johnson was a special kind of receiver that survived with bad quarterback play. Yes, partly because he was Calvin Johnson, but also because of his style of play, his physical being, how big he was, his ability to dominate the space around him. DK Metcalf is very similar in some small ways as Calvin, in that he is that guy that when the ball is in the air, he can go up and grab it no matter who's around him. And that's a special talent that very few wide receivers have in the NFL, where it's like it doesn't matter. You throw it up, and if there's anybody around, they can't get it. He's too big of a dude. He is too big of a vertical. This guy probably has the best vertical in the entire league for wide receivers, I would imagine. I would say like a Jefferson could maybe compete with him a little bit. Jamar Chase is a phenomenal jump ball wide receiver. But if you said, hey, I want the top 10 wide receivers to line up on the goalpost, and everybody jump up and touch as high as you can on the goalpost, the vertical part of the goalpost, I bet you DK Metcalf touches the highest point. And that, to me, makes me feel like this guy can go up and grab a football over any D-back in the entire National Football League. So Geno Smith, who's very underrated, is going to be able to throw it in a vicinity that makes it easy for a guy like DK to go up, snag and pluck the ball out of the air, come down with 10, 12 TDs in 2022 with Geno Smith under center. At me if you want. Make fun of it all you want. I don't really care, because I think DK is here to stay. I don't think DK Metcalf is any kind of joke wide receiver 2. I think he is a wide receiver 2. Trapped in a 5th or 6th round draft slot. He was an absolute steal on draft day, and he's a go-get player. And even if DK struggles a little bit in week 1, I'd probably go buy him. I like DK Metcalf a lot. Mike Williams, biggest bust of the year. Look, we're 1 week in. We can't be handing out those labels. Are we disappointed? Absolutely. Are we worried? Absolutely. Is he in the panic chamber tomorrow or Tuesday? Absolutely. Will I probably close the door on Mike Williams in the panic chamber? Probably will. He'll be in it. He'll be in it for sure. But let's calm down on the biggest bust of the year, and we don't know if he's going to bust. We don't know. I am concerned that he, even when Keenan Allen went down, didn't do anything. Where was he? Didn't he just all of a sudden think, okay, time to roll, and Herbert say, here, take it. I don't know what happened. I don't know where he went. Thoughts on Pittman? Master said he sent a super chat. Hold on, Master, I'm looking for it. Did I miss anybody else's super chat? Can you please tell me if I missed anything? Brandon says Lamb was horrible even with Prescott. Tonight it was a rough one. Master, Lamb for Higgins. Yeah, give me Higgins. Even coming off the concussion, because that might be one game. It might not even be one game, but that's one game versus Lamb having a season-long potential, or like a 4 to 6 game, lull. And then on top of that, when Dak comes back, could he be rusty for a game or two? I don't know if I'm in the wrong on that. Please let me know what you guys think, but I would take Higgins. That's a pretty good way out of that situation. I think it's a pretty crafty and smart way out of that situation that a Higgins owner might partake in, because they're kind of in the same situation you are. Worried about Lamb. I got that quick. Okay, I think I'm caught up on the super chats. You're kind of in the same situation in a way as the Lamb owner, but a little bit different situation, right? You are sitting here saying, what's up, Adolfo? Appreciate you. You're sitting here saying to yourself, I'm gonna be without Lamb, essentially for weeks in your mind, even though Lamb's gonna play, right? But the other owner's thinking, I'd rather have Lamb playing even without Dak than to be without Higgins for a week. So it's a great attack. Sanders for Lamb. I would trade Miles Sanders for Lamb. Yeah. Michael Thomas, most underrated draft pick. He could be. It's certainly a possibility. But I do think it's also a relatively decent chance. Maybe it's a 50-50 thing that Mike Thomas disappoints you in some grave way. Should I keep Likely or pick up Curtis Samuel? I'd probably keep Likely, but I think they're both pretty, arguable things at this point, because Likely's not doing what you want him to do. And you got to hold him, and it kind of sucks. I regret taking Aaron Jones over Saquon. I don't blame you. I didn't love Aaron Jones in the middle of round 2. I felt like it was like Dylan's there. Like everybody making such a big deal out of Melvin Gordon and dropping Javonte into sometimes round 3. Yet everybody just continued to be like, well, there's not the same threat of having Dylan there in how it relates to Aaron Jones's production. And to me, it just didn't make sense, to be down on one but not the other, when really it's like volume's volume. There's workload to be divided up, and that's it. And if A.J. Dillon's getting X number of workload, it's concerning. And so Aaron Jones felt like a little bit of a risk. I told you Fournette was a monster, says Ray. Ray, I mean, no one's arguing that he has talent to deliver in any one given game, but he also limped off the field, and we don't really even know what that's all about. I'm not saying he's not going to come back in week 2. I'm not saying he's even injured. I'm not saying anything of the sort, but I also don't feel like anything's been proven yet to me in week 1. He had a good week 1. So congrats on that for sure. And I'm actually happy because you're a follower of mine and you got Fournette. So if you think I'm rooting against you getting Fournette, having a good game, I'm not. I'm rooting for you, pal. But I certainly don't feel ultra confident that Fournette's going to survive the season. I think it's possible, but I do feel like he is an injury-prone player, and at some point, I just feel like the likelihood's a little more likely that he's injured. But that's me, bro. That's my take. I mean, you know how many people came out my neck at the beginning of the Tampa Bay game saying Godwin, fire emojis, Godwin. He actually looks good running the routes out there. He looks like he's out. So I mean, I just feel like with Fournette, like it'll be told. Let's let it play out. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm going to be wrong about a lot of stuff. Fantasy football from the car. That's right. And Njoku, we're stashing or starting. I don't know. Pittman, top 10 wide receiver if he can stay healthy. Yeah, I like Pittman in round 4. Like in retrospect. Yes, that's where I told you to take him. I still like him there. I don't like him in 3 just because he had a good game. Pittman in round 3 left your team looking very thin. I was not an advocate, and I firmly believe if I could go back in time, I still wouldn't be an advocate of Pittman in round 3. Doesn't mean I don't like Pittman. I have people coming at my neck a lot saying, Smitty, now do you like Pittman? Have you changed your tune on Pittman? I like Pittman just fine. I just have him in a round later than you, which is not crazy. It's acceptable. It's just different. It's different. Doesn't mean anything bad. Report is Prescott is out 6 to 8 weeks. That's exactly what I said. He'd be out at least 4 to 8 weeks. Could be 6 to 8 weeks. I think I nailed that pretty good without knowing too much of the information and with the power being out. if that's accurate, but 6 to 8 weeks is definitely doable. I mean, you have surgery on your hand. I think it was Brian that came in and said 2 weeks. No, you don't have surgery on your hand 2 weeks. You have surgery on your hand. They actually go in, open up, and do something to the bone or fix something like a ligament or a bone. You can't go out there and throw and play in a game in 2 weeks. It's definitely a 4 to 8 week injury, in my opinion. And if, let's say, he has a setback or something doesn't go a certain way, they most certainly can make him miss, more time to look out for the longevity of Dak Prescott. Now he's had 2 major injuries recently. He had the ankle, which was a horrible injury, which he may have never returned from, we thought. At one point, we were worried about it. Now he's going to miss 4 to 6. This team, 4 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, whatever the end up time frame ends up being. I said 4 to 8 weeks. It's got to be a wide range of time because we don't know a lot of facts right now. 4 to 8 weeks, Cowboys aren't making the playoffs. Cowboys are done. Eagles are winning the division. The Eagles are going to be phenomenal the rest of the way. I think the Eagles are going to be a top 2 or 3 team in the NFL now that the Cowboys are out of the picture. Not that they were the biggest threat to them, but the Eagles are now a top 4 team top 4 team in the NFC, but maybe a top 8 team in the NFL. So top 4 team in the NFC, maybe top 3 team in the NFC. I think they ultimately go to the NFC Championship as maybe an underdog, or maybe they are that highly ranked. But I see the Eagles going to the NFC Championship game. Maybe they face the Niners. Maybe they face somebody else. We'll find out. I don't think the Cowboys will make the playoffs. I don't think the Bucs will make the playoffs, but I don't think the Bucs will make the NFC Championship game. I think Tom Brady and the Bucs kind of fall apart at some point. They looked very, very iffy at times tonight, but it was an easy matchup for him. Tom Brady, I think, eventually starts falling off, and I am worried about Tom Brady's mental place that he's in right now because the man took off time in August. He never does that. Tom Brady 1 or 2 years ago would never have taken off 10 to 14 days in the middle of August for some pre-planned family time. I respect family time. I'm not saying people shouldn't be all about family time. I don't mean it to come off that way. But when you have a short window of time, and when Tom Brady's case, 20 years, he's got a small window of 20 years where he can play professional football. A small window. Usually it's 4 or 5. But Tom Brady didn't know that back in the day. But here you have Tom Brady with 1 more year out of the 20 years left. You're not going to sit there and take 10 to 14 days off. He is not in a headspace that can win a Super Bowl. Maybe he gets there. The team somehow gets there. I don't know. Godwin's out already. Julio's not going to last. There's no way Julio's going to last. He's got paper-thin hamstrings, and he looked like when he hit the ground on that one play, he's like, holy crap. This is not the same as it used to be. Tom Brady is going to have no wide receivers. If Evans gets hurt, then what? He's always banged up. But you have Gage hurt. You have Godwin out again. You have Julio destined to get hurt. You've got 2 tight ends potentially in Brate and what's his face. And then now Tom Brady's supposed to go out there without 2 guards and without a center and stay healthy all year. Now Tom Brady's going to be potentially injury prone, or potentially put in vulnerable spots. I'm not going near Tom Brady in fantasy. I'm not going near the Bucs in terms of predicting who wins an NFC Championship or dropping down any props on that. And if you want to go drop a prop, go to the link in the description or go to Underdog Fantasy and use promo code Smitty. They will match up to $100 in your first deposit. So go drop a prop, baby, on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Get that match deposit up to $100. Jimmy G-String to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think Jimmy's getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys, but man, anything could happen. I'm not going to rule it out. Would they trade? I don't know why you would trade for Jimmy G. I don't think Jimmy G has this team winning, but I know that Niner fans want him traded. I'm tired. I know Niner fans want him traded, but oh my God. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep just sitting here. Thoughts on Kamara? Kamara is a buy low. Kamara will be on the buy low video on Wednesday. He will be in the Panic Chamber episode on Tuesday. as will Godwin, as will so many other names like Akers and A-Rob and Pierce and Burrow, and they'll either stay in the panic chamber or I'll rip them out and say, no, not on this day, not on my watch, but we will be throwing a plethora of players in the panic chamber. Zeke, Ceedee Lamb, you name it, they're going in the panic chamber, baby. But we're breaking it down, and I'm going to tell you who deserves to be in there and who doesn't. Get some sleep. I will. Eventually, I will. Eventually, I'm going to pass out and sleep like 10 hours because I've been going nonstop for the whole off season, you know. And even right now, I was laying down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the Terminal List on Amazon Prime, which is phenomenal, by the way. I'm through like episode 4. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit back. I'm not going to even go live. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to pull up the Terminal List. I'm going to watch it, do it live. And then all of a sudden, Dak Prescott, broken finger. And then I thought I'll go live for 20 minutes. Then my power goes out. I went live for 20, I don't know, were we live for like 20 minutes on YouTube? And then the power went out and I came out here and now we've been live for 102 minutes. So we've been live for over an hour and a half in my car. My gas has gone from not too bad, 55 miles left on range to 50, you know? And we've been wasting a little gas here, keeping the phone powered on. I probably can unplug that here in a minute. Who do I trade Sanders for? ETN, absolutely. Great content, no doubt. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you. That's dedication. You know, some people appreciate it, and I appreciate you. We got 252 thumbs up. I can't complain. I can't say, hey, hit the thumb up button. I mean, there are 400 people in here. I wouldn't mind if the 400 people decided to partake in the thumb up business. That would be a pretty good business to get in right now for me. That would help me out a lot. But you know, 257 thumbs up for a car live stream ain't that bad. I'm not complaining. But yeah, I would appreciate if you guys could do me a solid and punch that, get that up to $3 bills. Wow, you know, what an unexpected live stream tonight. Dak Prescott out. Sounds like it's gonna be 6 to 8 weeks with the thumb surgery on the throwing hand. Naji Harris. Early word is maybe it's not super bad. Watt's looking like a torn pec. Higgins had a concussion, it looks like, so he could be out maybe another game or maybe be back. There's a bug. Maybe he'll be back. What was I saying? Higgins, oh, maybe he'll be back next game, maybe not. Well, it depends on the concussion protocol. We got another injury. Who's the other? Eli Mitchell. My guesstimation is he's out at least 4 to 6 weeks, if I had to guess. And I would say torn MCL with a little side of meniscus tear is what what the doctor calls for in this situation. Your boy Smitty doesn't have a medical license. I am not even a psychologist, even though I got a psychology degree. I have a journalism degree, which probably qualifies me more for this than the psychology degree, but I like to bring the psychology to the table. And I may not be an MD, but your boy Smitty's got 20 years of medical, a reckless medical evaluation processes in place that date back 20 years, pattern recognition of said injuries, and that's the real important part. There may be people out there that have more of a grasp on the anatomy, right? But I've seen injuries and how players respond and how they do. And so I feel like I could bring a good amount of knowledge to you. Let's see here. What's out that changes everything for Pitt's deep? Wait, Watt's out. I can barely read this as it's going by. Watt's out. That changes everything for Pittsburgh's defense. I'm sorry, Ron. I hate that. Like, I was rooting. Ron and I were exchanging voice messages during that game, and I was like, I don't care if Pittsburgh wins. You can take the win, Ron. Just give me one more Burrow touchdown so that I don't have to go on my live stream and just hear, why did Burrow score a touchdown? Why did Burrow have 2 touchdowns? So all I wanted was 2 touchdowns, and then Ron could have the win. And Ron took the win. That's all I wanted. Now, I don't want Burrow to lose. I want him motivated. I want the team going to the playoffs. I think they will. I think they'll win the division. But, I wasn't greedy. I just wanted 2 touchdowns. Ron could get the win. Why am I in my car? Everybody requested that I do my live stream from the car tonight. So I said, all right, I'll do the live stream from the car. If that's what you want, that's what we'll do. I'm a man of the people. Let's do it live. Mahomes is a football god, says Steven. He's absolutely phenomenal. Mahomes is the man. Mahomes is amazing. How many fantasy teams do you have? I had 22 to 24 last year, not including best ball. There's hundreds of best ball. Ask Ron. Actually, I probably about 100 and something best balls, all the ones I do on the live streams. But like actual leagues, now I'm down to like, I think 10 to 12. Patterson and Kareem Hunt went off on my bench. I mean, it happens, bro. Hollywood Brown, I like Hollywood Brown. Dan says, Smitty, I'm glad I didn't trade my JJ for Naji. Thanks. Yeah, you bet, Dan. I don't even remember that, but I appreciate it. I hope I helped. Aaron Jones, Michael Carter for Dalvin Cook. Aaron Jones, Michael Carter. Yes, go get Dalvin Cook. Make sure you back him up, cuff him, get the cuff. Get the cuff, do it live. Appreciate you. 716 Patterson and Kareem Hunt went off my bench. I'm sorry about that again. You could always make a trade. Look like Jonathan Taylor can do it again. Yeah, he had a quiet day if you watched NFL Red Zone. Like, they didn't really show Jonathan Taylor until like the end of the game. He's ripping off a long run. You're like, okay. But like you didn't even know JT was going off if you were watching NFL Network. And I really think JT's in for a good year, but it wouldn't shock me if he had some competition, like by a guy named Javonte Williams, who might make a run for that number 1 running back spot. Disappoint as well. Cook disappointed as well. Shake my head. Week 1 madness. Yeah, people are gonna have knee-jerk reactions for days. This is the best time for fantasy football. Because it honestly is the best time to better your team. It's buy low, sell high season, and I think it's a phenomenal way. Okay. Everett and Corey Davis for ETN. What? Yeah, of course you get ETN for that, bro. Thoughts on Deontay plus Sanders for ETN and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'd take St. Brown alone for that. And you're going to give me, yeah, of course. Exciting rookie performance next week. I don't know. We'll have to kind of play that by ear. Take advantage of fear. Yeah, so what I was saying before, yeah, we had some troll in here. I believe this is my favorite time of the year. It's also the most frustrating time of the year because I get a lot of panic and it's the same repeated questions. And I get it. Like, you don't all know that everybody's asking the same question. But I can't tell you how many people are going to say, so are you worried about Lamb? 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 Hey, Smitty, are you worried about Lamb? Hey, Smitty, this is my favorite. Smitty, I got a good one for you. A lot when people say that, they think I'm going to be excited about the question. Hey, Smitty, in a DM on Instagram that I don't have time to respond to. Hey, Smitty, I got a good one for you. You're going to love this. Should I trade ETN? Hey, Smitty, I got a good one. Are you worried about Lamb? So Lamb chops is in a bad place. 6 to 8 weeks, Lamb chops is now no longer in my top 10 to 12 wide receivers. It sucks. Trade Lamb for Pitts? Yeah, I'd do that. Is your name Harry? No, it's not Harry. Komet for Akers? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't think I want Akers at all. Like, why put yourself in that spot? Then what? You want to maybe play him as your flex and he's gonna burn you? I don't know. King Henry, in my opinion, and we had a little bit of a tiny debate on the Zoom call tonight, which you can get if you want by going to the join button, the blue join button, on the Discord. What maintenance soon? maintenance soon. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting in my car like this. What was I saying? I don't know. I don't care. It is what it is. Any chance Clyde Edwards-Helaire is here to stay? I mean, I talked about that earlier. I love Clyde. I love Clyde. I'm very happy for him. Smitty, does this mean I should sell CeeDee Lamb? I mean, if you can sell him, yeah. Get creative, get crafty. Try and go after Kyle Pitts, who also slumped. And then somebody, you know, needs a wide receiver, and he's playing. Oh, King Henry. Yeah, we had a little bit of a debate on the Zoom calls, and I was telling you, you could be part of the Zoom memberships as well by clicking on the blue join button on the main YouTube, you know, page that my main homepage on YouTube. There's a blue join button, or you can go to thefantasyfootballshow.com and click the YouTube members badge at the top. But for $9.99, you can cancel anytime, so you can do it 1 month and get 2 Zoom calls every Sunday for the 1 month, and then cancel if you want. If you only want to do it in September and October or whatever. But we got on there on the 2 Zoom calls today at halftime of the morning games, halftime of the Sunday evening game. Those are the 2 call times. And we had a little debate about Derrick Henry. I'm for trading Derrick Henry on the high. It's not that I think he can't do it. It's that I believe the risk is higher than I like. And I feel like, what if he has another 70 or 80-yard game with no touchdowns? He had an 80-yard game. He looked okay. He did not look great. He had 3.9 yards per carry. You can't look great getting 3.9 yards per carry. He may have looked good on 1 or 2 runs or whatever, but Derrick Henry is definitely in a different situation than he was in previous years. He's got mileage that he didn't have years ago, mileage that breaks you. And I fear, like, you know, he can look as tough as he looks in practice and running up grassy hills and all that. But I feel like it's much better to go get 2 players where one of them you feel like has the potential to be as good as Derrick Henry quietly, and then get another additional player. Example would be trading Derrick Henry and getting a top 5 wide receiver, and you get a player like, you know, ETN thrown in essentially for free. So if you could go get a Devontae Adams, you probably can't get Adams now. But as an example, look how good Adams was. If you were to trade Henry before week 1 for Adams and ETN failed in week 1, and Adams still hung with Derrick Henry. That's the kind of trade that I feel like is a good trade, when one player in the deal at least can kind of hang with the other player in the so-called downgrade. You're so-called downgrading the King Henry into Devontae Adams, and then you get ETN for free. Now, I'm not saying ETN's the answer. Maybe you can get you can't get an AJ Brown anymore. A lot of my trade advice before week 1 was trade a big player for said player and AJ Brown. You know, trade Cooper Kupp, because you're worried a little bit about your team. Don't trade Cooper Kupp if your team's on fire, but you trade Cooper Kupp, right? You trade Cooper Kupp if your team needs a change for a player and AJ Brown, because AJ Brown quietly can kind of hang with Cooper Kupp if, God forbid, something happens to the other player. It's a good combination. Kamara for Debo, I'd probably rather have, God, I mean, there's a worry. I'm a little worried about Debo. But I'd probably say give me Debo. I think Kamara should be valued at top of 3rd round or right around there. I wouldn't be crazy if you need a running back to take that gamble, but I don't know. It's a 50-50 call, bro. Trey Lance, top 12 QB. He can be, but there's certainly some worry about Shanahan. It sucks, you know. Like, I was so hyped on Trey. I still am, but his desire to bring Jimmy back and without having the balls to say no, we're not doing that. just to allow it to happen, even if it wasn't his call. It's just not. There's a little bit of doubt that Shanahan's capable of messing this up. You know, the fact that he kept Jimmy and didn't just rip the Band-Aid off and go forward. I don't know. Tight end Albert O will be real tonight. And by tonight, you mean tonight for you. It's still tonight. It's still Monday or Sunday for me. But Smitty, I played Higgins and Mike Williams and somehow won. That's a great supporting cast you have around those guys. Nice work. I think I'm going to start running Debo. I think they're going to start running Debo. They might. Carter dropped one. Carter looked good. Carter did look good. Admittedly, Carter looked good. 1 hour and 20 minutes. All right. Niners need CMC. Look, just get him hurt. Was Mixon injured? I don't think so. I think Mixon's fine. Lamb and Andrews for Pitts and Davis. Davis who? Gabe Davis? Mike Davis? Bob Davis? I'm going to assume Gabe Davis. So Kyle Pitts and Kyle Pitts and Gabe Davis for Lamb and Andrews. Give me Kyle Pitts and Gabe Davis. It is what it is. Doesn't matter. Draft day doesn't matter anymore. It's a whole new ball game. Am I worried about Brees? No. Nothing that happened in week 1 is different than I expected or than you really expected. But everybody's just freaking out. It's freak out season. Brees Hall wasn't supposed to Gina Davis. Everybody is freaking out about Breesy. The Godfather dropping a $10 mashed potato. He said, just wanted to thank you for telling me to trade Michael Thomas and Chase Edmonds for Debo. Well, I mean, Michael Thomas did play well. And drop James Robinson and Robbie Anderson. I didn't listen. Started all of them and won my matchup. Well, I appreciate your $10 holler. I don't remember any of that, but I'm sorry if I gave you any bad advice. I appreciate your super chat. Did I see MT's back? He looked pretty good. Alex. He looked pretty good. MT was feeling it. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, we can make all these grand assumptions and say that we have victory laps, on our hands. And, sometimes I do it too. I joke around and, we did it, and you got a whole season. Look, MT could get hurt tomorrow and then what, Alex? So you're going to remember that comment there? Or, who knows? Who knows, bro? All I know is MT scored. He looked good. He looked happy. But the bottom line is you have 1 week down. And MT's got a whole lot of weeks to go to prove that he can hold up. That his body isn't going to say, F this, man. I can't do this. Later, Hall of J Game, appreciate you. Like, this is a long season ahead, bro. Thoughts on Hayden Hurst? Your evil twin is still alive? No, he's not. He's not. Is he still alive? AJ Dillon with a quality, solid game. What's my live stream doing? It was only so long. Is it repeating? Like, what is it doing? Is it just frozen, you mean? And the chat's live? Like, what's live about it? Like, what am I doing on the live? Is it just repeating? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's never done that before. It's just frozen. That's weird, bro. Ring the panic button on Aaron Rodgers for sure. Someone said it's repeating. You talk a little. What's it say? Did you talk a little in depth about Travis Kelce earlier in this video? No. I would say I still toy around the idea of trading him high, but he's gonna have a good year if he stays healthy. But I would just
if you need a change, I would toy around with the idea of selling high. Only if you need a change. Like, same thing with like Cup. Like, you don't trade Cup, you don't trade JJ, you don't trade JT unless you can't win. Like, you drafted a bad team or you got hit with some other injury, and like, you got to make a business decision. I can't win with this player, but they're amazing. I could break them up into 2 players and maybe I can win. That's the only time you're going to make those kind of trades. Allen, Hurts, Swift, Edmonds, Henderson, J-Rob, B-Rob, St. Brown, Sutton, Gabe Davis, Myers, Mike Thomas, Goddard. Sell Hurts, upgrade other spots. I mean, if it's a 1 QB league, Mills on waivers, Superflex. No, if it's a Superflex, you keep Allen and Hurts. You run out Swift and, you know, whichever running back you feel at the time is gonna be the best option. Henderson's looking pretty good right now. Edmonds is okay. J-Rob's okay right now. So yeah, those are decent. Sutton, or St. Brown, Sutton, Gabe Davis, Myers, Mike Thomas, Goddard. I mean, you could look to. I mean, it depends what you could get for Hurts. Looking at your team, I could say it wouldn't hurt to trade Hurts if you could pick up. My boy Davis Mills. It just depends on what you could get. What could you get for Hurts? And a super flex, you should get whatever you want. Like, he's a top 5 overall player. So that means you should be able to get any running back you want, or really you should be able to get almost a Jamar Chase or maybe even explore JJ. Probably not JJ. I imagine that JJ would go ahead of Hurts. There'd be JT and JJ, and that's about it maybe. But you should be able to get, you could even get probably Cooper Kupp using Hurts. It also depends on the person's quarterbacks. What happened to Burrow? Played a really tough defense. Austin, what to do with Keenan Allen? Rather have Lamb? Yeah, because he's playing. But I mean, I'm worried about both of them. That's crazy. Lamb for Keenan. That would be nuts. All right, guys, I think I'm out of here for the night. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go watch Terminal List. Appreciate you all. Taysom Hill, top tight end candidate for pickup. Sure. I mean, he was one of the better, best ball tight ends to grab. Ron Navy and I believe Ron Navy did it too. Grabbed him in tons of in best ball drafts. All right, guys, appreciate you. I'm out of here. 124 minutes is a pretty good show in the car. So, see you tomorrow. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Look, we're almost at 300 likes. We need 7 more. Can we just get everybody to punch the thumb up button real quick? We're at 345 eyeballs in the chat, and we've got 294 thumbs up. All we need is 6 more. Just punch it real quick for me. You bet, Eddie. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Pollard moving forward. I don't like any Dallas Cowboys moving forward right now, man. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about that situation. All right, we're at 303. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Big Dog. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.